Joshua, head on back. Joshua, can you switch with Mitch, please? Can you switch positions with Mitch? Yeah, here we go. Down the line. All right, I'll push it back. Go ahead. Mitch. Josh, can you hear me? Yeah. Okay, what just happened is exactly what happened to Jonathan was here at 6:59. Last person came in at 7:05. Between those 5-6 minutes that he was here, everybody else had now arrived. That's not your fault. You could have been parking, you could have been running late, whatever it is, right? He's been here 6 minutes before everybody else, so the warm-up should start considering that part of it. So here's how it started. I warmed up with him because I greeted him, he showed up. I was here before he was. Okay, that's a huge point, right? You try to be here before they show up. You were on Sunday morning. It was awesome watching you shoot some baskets into the here when you got there before they got there. It's so much more comfortable to arrive before they arrive. If the coach showed up now, it's uncomfortable because the players are already here, right? Okay, he showed up first. We had second. I warmed up with him. When the second person showed up, I warmed up with both of them. What happened when the third person showed up? They warmed up with each other, and I took on the third guy.
Yeah, you took the third guy.
I took the third. Fourth comes in. What happened?
I take your spot.
Yeah, you took my spot, and what did they do?
They backed up.
Because they've been here for how long?
5 minutes longer.
5 minutes longer, right? So they got long court earlier than you guys did. Okay, now when I let you go long court, what did we do? You switched with Mitch. Mitch has been hitting already. He's been hitting already. It's probably better that they hit with that you guys hit together and you guys hit together because there's a little variety. And we already had a warmed up person hitting with you. We had a warmed up person hitting with you. So it kind of facilitated the warm up to go there. Okay, is that a lot of thinking? For you guys, it might be initially, but for me, that's kind of common nature because of how they came in, right? And it doesn't matter what the levels were. However they came in, they came in. That's kind of what a warm-up should look like and get everybody involved, but yet not necessarily wait for everybody to show up because it would have been a lousy experience for him if we waited for the last two people to show up. Okay? So I just wanted to go over that because that's typically what happens. Okay? All right. So we got through the warm-up. That was a warm-up for people that can play. Now, the warm-up was for people who can't. So we're going to have to call it a different level. So let's talk for 3-0 and above and 3-0 and below. What's Thursday night's level? Thursday night, you guys do Thursday night? I don't call it Thursday night? 3-0 and below. 3-0. Okay? Sunday?
3-0, little bit below, somewhat below.
Sunday morning? 6 ladies?
Probably 2-5. Yeah.
Mixed bag.
Yeah.
Very mixed bag. Now yours was a lot of different levels you had. Thursday at noon. 4? Yeah, 4. 4-0. That's very different. Okay. Anything 3-0 and below. Can they self-feed?
Not very well.
Should you let them self-feed? Why?
Too erratic.
Yeah, they can barely hit a ball hit well. They can barely hit a ball that's hit well. Imagine them hitting a ball that's not hit well, right? So you have to really get involved with the feeding. And you have to facilitate that as quickly as you can and get involved with the feeding. Okay? All right, so mini tennis is an acceptable warm-up. But if it doesn't have to be mini tennis, it could be a feeding. It could be a basket feeding. How long does it take to empty out a basket? 7 minutes. 7 minutes to empty out a basket approximately at a decent feed rate. Okay? Problem is, I could have emptied out the basket before you guys got here. Would you like to come in and pick up all the balls when you first get here? No. That'd be silly. That'd be silly, right? Okay, so managing this basket is very important. You don't want to run it out. You don't want to get to that level that you run out. Okay, so we talked about mini tennis warm-up. If we don't do mini tennis, we could do a feeding warm-up. Okay, if you guys were 2-0s, 2-5s, we could do that where you guys volley back to me and I hit it to you until we get everybody here. Right? No sense doing a line drill if we don't have a line. No need to do a line drill if we don't have a line. So you guys could just hit volleys to me like this. You guys go there, just volley it back. And we could talk until everybody else gets back. Right? And this, just shoot another ball. Right? Just shoot another ball. And I could hit that ball. But if I don't hit it, it just means another one, right? So, okay, so now everybody's arrived. Now we can do a line. Yeah.
You also do what they're doing practice and you're done volleys?
They can just lump it back to me, but I don't have to hit it. I don't have to hit it. Like if it comes near me, I can hit it, but I don't really always have to hit it. But the proximity would be probably good because we could talk.
Okay.
So, go ahead. So how did you like the last week's lesson? Right? We could probably have a conversation here, right?
Yeah.
We could have it if they're way back there.
Right, okay. Yeah.
Okay. So then let's decide to do a line. Go on that side, let's decide we're going to do a line. Okay, go back to the baseline. Let's assume you haven't hit any balls yet. 2-5. If you're a 2-5, who wants to do backhands first? Raise your hand if you love backhands. At a 2-5 level? Do you even know what a backhand is at a 2-5 level? Right. But nobody gets a backhand. Spread out. Both get forehands. Here we go. We'll do 2 lines. 3 go on that side. 2 lines. 2 forehands. A deep one and a short one, then switch. Only forehand. And then switch. Only forehand. Wow. You're the good kid. Okay. Okay. Hold up. Switching lines. Mitch is the only one that didn't switch lines. Go back to your original line. However you were. Switching lines is complicated. Not to you, especially not to you guys, but to a beginner player, switching lines is too complicated. Stay in your own line. There's no need to switch because we're all doing forehands. Just stay in your own line. All right, let's switch lines. Let's have the whole line switch. And that way you don't have to get them confused about switching every time. Okay, come on up. Try not to ask them to do something they would normally not do. How many people play doubles versus singles as adults? Yeah, probably. 80-20, maybe even higher. So doubles is what we're really teaching. Or we're teaching 2 people on the court. 2 people on each side. Whether you call it doubles or not, we're teaching more 2-person tennis. So your spatial awareness is at 2 people, right? 2 sides, 1 up, 1 back, 2 back, 2 up, whatever you want to call it, but it's 2. Right? So kind of let them understand what 2 is like. Since most of them play doubles, your end goal is to teach them how to play doubles. So don't ask them to do something that they would typically not do. So for example, switching lines, that's fun for kids, but that doesn't happen in real tennis. Okay, so try and stay away from things that are a little unrealistic. Okay, so where would we go after we just did that drill? Where could we go next? What would be your next progression? What could we did two?
12 minutes left.
We did two. What could you go next? So a third ball? Yeah, we could add a third ball. Definitely add a third ball. Okay. What else can we go? We can go back again, right? We can go backwards. Okay. Where can we go after that? Okay. So now we could bring some of you over here. So we had a little rule that we made up. At least 50% of the people on the tennis court must be hitting a ball at all times. How many people were hitting a tennis ball? 2. So it's 50%, right? Okay. So what we could do is we could progress the drill where if we did, again, if we don't finish the cart, but we could progress it to 3 balls. We could progress it to backhands. We could progress it to direction. You could now challenge them with a direction. Okay, now I want all the balls to go cross court. I want first 2 to go cross court. I want the volley to go down the line. You could increase the demand by what you ask of them, right? Okay, you don't have to change the drill. You can just up the requirement. Okay, so now you're asking for the ball to be hit to a specific spot. Now you're getting to a higher level, right? Okay, so there are so many things you can go and ask for before you even have to change this. The next one, you could actually put a person over here. So let's imagine we had 5 people, and 2 were here and 3 were there, right? Okay. A good way to keep, people are going to ask you, is this competitive or is this cooperative? Who's going to ask that? What level starts to ask that? 3-5 will start asking. Anything below 3-5 doesn't even understand the difference. They're just trying to hit the ball back, right? So one way to say it is, it's cooperative. I want you to make a connection. So if I'm going to be over here, I want you to connect with me and I'm going to connect back with you. That's kind of cooperative, right? Okay, if you want to say it's competitive, that's a little different because then they're trying to win the point. What happens at 3-5 when you say it's competitive? Tons of mistakes. Now everybody's hitting the net because they're so trying to win at the expense of hitting the ball, right? So kind of be careful when you ask for that. Okay, can I get you guys come over here for a second? Can you guys go 2 backs? Give me the 3 variations. We have 2 back. Hey, we have 2 back. We can have 2 up, 2 back. We can have 1 up, 1 back, 1 up, 1 back. Right? So somewhere in there you can kind of decide how you want to start. Okay, so let's bring you up. Let's keep you back. Let's bring you up. Okay, right here. That's fine. That's fine. Service line. Okay, so now I can announce my feed. I can announce the feed. I'll just announce the feed. Okay? We're going to make everybody in the back a number 1, everybody at the net a number 2. Okay? All right, here, 1. You guys play out. Make a mistake. Okay, that's okay? I'm going to announce the feed, right? 2. 2. 1. Two. Okay, all right. Now I'm going to announce where I want you to hit it. I'm going to announce where I want you to hit it. All right? Where's 1? Right, 1. It's okay. Ready? I'm going to announce where I want him to hit it. 2. Okay? 2. 2. 2. So come on in for a second. So look, that was good. That was fun. I could announce where I'm feeding, or I could announce where you're hitting my feet. Okay? So that's how you can start to challenge the drill, by you having control of where the first ball goes. Right? So you can call your feed, or you can call their hit. Right? What's 3? A lob over the net player's head. 1, 2, 3. Okay, just keep it simple, right? 1, 2, 3. So now we can play a game that we play with Mitch. It's called 1, 2, 3. So I feed a 1, I feed a 2, I feed a 3. Okay, we play it out, and then we can either rotate or switch, which rotating and switching are 2 different things. Rotating happens over there, switching happens over here, right? Or we can switch with the other cord. Okay, so once you went past the warm-up and you got into some playing, this is just a rotation. There was no instruction there, unless you want to say that I was instructing by telling you where to hit the ball, right? Okay, so now you can throw in some instruction by saying whatever you need to say, like, hey, you should play closer. You should, when you hit it wide, you should move wide. You can start to coach, but that's just a rotation. That's just a format, okay? So now, if we had a 5th person or a 6th person, where would we put 5 and 6? Okay, we can put them in depth. Sorry, I asked that incorrectly. We can put 2 over there and have 4 on 2. We can put 1 over here and have 3 and 3. However you want to do it, you're either rotating or switching. What we don't want to do too much is king and queen of the court. Okay, because tell me ever in matches where you win a point and you run over here. Does that ever happen in a match? No. So that's kind of where it gets a little tough with adults to do that. So how can we do king of the court without doing that? Is we can say, we're going to play after a certain amount of time. I'm just going to bring the next 2 over here and throw you over there. So I can switch you on time or on score. But what I'm not going to do is switch you in situations that are a little unrealistic. Okay? So let's say, go 1 up, 1 back, just here, a little bit further back. Take in that position, go a little further back. Okay, hold up. So let's say, move up a little bit. Another little concern is, I don't want to rotate you until both of you have touched the ball. Say, hit this in the net, hit it in the net. We're going to switch it. You haven't touched the ball. That's not fair to you, right? So we don't switch, we don't rotate until everybody's touched the ball. You figure it out. Even if you have to feed this way, so that everyone gets to touch a ball before you do your switch, okay? Or your rotation. All right, so by doing that, you make sure that everyone got to touch a ball. And that's kind of important because there's no sense you switching if you didn't even get to hit a ball. Okay? All right, so that's kind of another concept of not rotating until everybody has participated some way. Okay, all right, now, say this drill's over and whoever is leading the drill just called time. So Avery's on that court, she's leading our drill, and she
3
called,
minutes.
she called time. I can say, hey guys, grab a few balls. Don't do the whole thing, grab a few balls. We're going to make a switch with Avery. Okay, there's a couple of different switches you can do. You guys together go over there, and she sends me 2 new. Okay, or we could do the following. We're going to go over there and switch with Avery. So I can take 2 with me and switch. So whoever's running the drill would need to understand how we're going to get people to intermix. Okay? chances are the top player on this court will not mix with the lowest player on that court. So Haver would need to know if we're switching our middle. So you're the top player of the day. Mark is on that court. He's the weakest player of the day. They're probably not going to interact much. Okay? So hopefully if the clinic is well balanced, you don't have to worry about that. But if you do have to worry, who are we protecting? The weakest player? Or the top player, or both? Both. You're protecting both, right? You got to protect the strongest player as well. Because that strongest player doesn't want to put themselves in a weird situation where they're the strongest player. All right, so now, you're doing this kind of drill. What happens if you want to do serving? Do you want to go serve? Do you want to do serving? Ask yourself that question. Do you really want to get into this? Okay, it's going to be a buzzkill. May not go well, okay? They may not like it, but if you do serving, how do we put everybody on that side? Why not everyone over here? 50% rule. 50% rule, right? You don't want to have everybody on the same side because you don't have enough interaction of enough people hitting balls. So if you do have to go into that, just observe the 50% rule, that you've got to have at least 50% of the people interacting some way or another. Okay, so that was very quick, and sorry, we only had half an hour on the court. I didn't want to do this up in a workroom because you don't get the feel for what happens on the court. Okay, but let's just call that this is the anatomy of a drill. All right, the last drill of the day, what should it be? What should the last drill be?
It should be like a
Something quick, something that doesn't require too much explanation. If my last drill requires a lot of explanation, probably not a good idea for it to be your last drill. Okay? Because it just has to be quick. The last drill should be something kind of fun, but realistic. And it shouldn't require that much explanation because by then you're done, right? So the timing of that ball pickup is key because if there's only 10 minutes left in the clock, you can't be at that point picking up balls and expect to do the last drill in 2 minutes. Right? So that clock management is tough. And that's kind of a hard thing to do, but you kind of pick up on it. All right, any quick questions? Because we got to get out of here. There's a group coming in. All right, we're going to do this often to kind of give you guys a little bit more, so you're more comfortable when you're around adults. It's not comfortable. It's not a comfortable scenario. It's not like being around kids. Kids are a little bit more comfortable. All right, let's grab these balls.
Quickly, guys.
We'll
Run.
in the hallway.
Oh, very